Hey guys, this is Adri. We're back vlogging again this week, and actually we're in the same forest, the same spot where we were vlogging last time when we were talking about time scarcity is making you stupid. Today we're going to talk about kind of how we homeschool. So this is just, I don't know, it's not a how-to or anything like that. We're definitely not experts. We've only just started. I guess officially this year, even though it is unschooling, so we'll get to that, like, sort of what that means for us. But our son would be in kindergarten this year, and he is not. So we are homeschooling, I guess officially. Although officially, like here in Canada, it's not until next year.
Yeah, that we need to register.
Yeah, so like here in Quebec, and I don't know how it is where you guys are, it's probably something kind of similar. Every area has their own laws around homeschooling, but usually your child does have to be registered with the closest school board, and it usually just means submitting some reports at the end of the year, like this is what we did, and there's no testing or anything like that. It's just to, I don't know, just show that we're doing something with our kid. To be in the system, kind of. To be in the system. And also, it's not so much that they're trying to, like, police you or anything like that. It's really, like, a good school board will offer support, resources, help where they can, and then often even point you towards other homeschooling families in the area that they know about. So that's really more next year, though, that we have to create a report, and we've already started just by doing this little journal month for month, keeping track of all of his new accomplishments or little, like, learning milestones,
all the projects we're working on,
projects that we work on and stuff like that, just to sort of get in the habit of keeping track of these things, because we don't follow a curriculum, and we don't really have a plan of following a curriculum until, I don't know.
No curriculum.
No curriculum until further notice. And we've just decided to do that because, well, why did we decide to do that?
Well, to me it seems a much more natural way of learning. Like, we wait for him to be interested in things, but we're always looking for opportunities. Like, the way I see it is that there's things that we want him to learn, and we wait until there's an opportunity where he seems interested in something that's related to that, and then we slip it in, right?
Yeah. So like, for example, if, you know, he's learning to read right now,
yeah,
and we read to him, we always read, well, this is not a very good example, I'm sure all parents do this, you read what your child is interested in, right?
No, but I mean, for example, like the flashcards and the reading practice and actually teaching him all that, we started recently, because I think his interest in reading.
Yeah, like he actually says now, like, oh, I can't wait to be reading books on my own.
Yeah. And
like he'll sit in front of his library and just like leaf through books, and you can tell he's getting a little bit frustrated that he can't read a sentence, you know? But we try to keep it like really light and fun. There's no like drills kind of thing, you know? Like the other morning he wrote, Mama Nora poop toot cats. You know, and like that wouldn't necessarily be okay to do in school, but like we think it's hilarious. He sounded it all out on his own, like he you know, was working through like how to do the double vowels and stuff like that. So, you know, and he had a gas. So like it was hilarious, you know. So that's like our own approach of doing things. It's very like fun and funny and irreverent.
And in terms of timing, it's about waiting for him to, it's waiting for the right time, and just always being looking for those opportunities to teach, because there's no shortage of things to teach about and ways of teaching it, as long as he's receptive. And the most important thing that we want to do is just make sure that he continues to love learning.
Yes.
Which is a challenge. Like we do have issues with sometimes when things are too difficult, like he
gets frustrated.
He gets frustrated very easily. I mean, he's 5, right?
Yeah.
But like with the reading practice, there are days where you know, we have to struggle to do one card.
Yeah.
It's just like,
but those off days aren't punished. you know, and like I don't know really how it is in school now. Like I'm remembering how it was back in kindergarten. I guess it depends really just on the particular teachers or whatever, but if you're having an off day, you know, at our house, like that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and if we go a week without really learning anything,
that's impossible. It
is impossible, but I mean, like, without there being a specific project or something like that, like, then it just happens. Yeah. But learning happens constantly. So, like, we'll talk about, like, what a week looks like for us. Okay. So, he goes to a homeschool cooperative 2 days a week, and then he goes to forest school 1 day a week. And in both of these schools, he's with school-age children. So his homeschool cooperative is for, he's in the little class, so he's with 5 to 8-year-olds. And then the other class is 8 to 12-year-olds? 11? Something like that. And so that's like his part-time school where it's really play-based. I think it's kind of based off of that Scandinavian model, loosely, where it's like, it's a lot about playing and imagination, and it's very student-led. They work on projects that they're interested in. They do reading and writing practice and stuff like that, mathematics. They're learning sign language, science, like whatever they feel, whatever they're into that given week. Tons of playing. But it's structured, but it's also loose. And he's in a class of 7 kids. So, you know, he gets a lot of individualized attention, and it costs, like, we pay for it, obviously. We pay a tuition. I think it comes out to about $40 a day, yeah, or so. So, similar to, like, the cost of daycare. It's the same thing with his forest school, which is just pure outdoor play all day with, also with school-age children.
So we just dropped him off, so it's in these.
It's in these, like, basically this forest. It's a beautiful place to be. And he's got 2 teachers there, and I think there's about 12 kids, 11 kids. And they just learn all kinds of outdoor skills. They do a lot of team building exercises, leadership stuff. It's not like Scouts, like it's not about like levels and like accomplishments. It's really just, oh, sunshine, sunshine. It's way more unstructured than that. Oh, now I have a giant head.
Your wide angle.
It's so weird.
Okay, let me try again, but it'll be on your left.
Okay.
There we go.
So, except don't block the microphone.
Yeah. Alright.
Remember to talk.
Yes.
At it. Okay. I'll edit this out, don't worry. But like, because I had to, like, every time you spoke in the last one, I had to edit it so that your mic was way up.
Okay.
Yeah, so like every city or town or whatever probably has these types of homeschooling organizations. Like where we live in Canada isn't a very strong homeschooling area of North America. It's way bigger in the States, apparently. So friends in the US, you definitely have that on your side if you're going to choose to homeschool. We're also doing secular homeschooling, and I know that there is a lot of support too for families who do it more of like a religious, like Christian or whatever approach. So we lose out on that because we don't have like church groups and stuff like that. Although our son's co-op is actually at a church, but it's fully secular. There you go. So there's an ice under this. We're gonna go flying down this hill.
All these co-ops and things, it solved the problem that is the #1 question that we get about homeschooling, which is socializing, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, he's got a good group of friends.
Yeah, he's got a great, oh, gotta show this little background here. He has a great social life, like really, really good. You know, he's not in class with 30 kids, but he has, how many, like 3, 4, 5, like best friends, and then a bunch of other buddies, you know, but like, he's got friends that we get together with on the weekends for brunch. Like, they practically feel like family, like, or like we're sort of like on that road, you know, where like these friends, they feel like they're gonna be good friends, you know, and we get along with the parents, and it's really nice. So that's definitely not an issue, and I feel like having 3-4 super close friends is like, that's the best you could ask for, you know?
Yeah.
So very pleased with that. He doesn't get along with everyone, which is normal, but I don't know, there hasn't been any bullying or anything like that, so I feel like you don't get that dynamic with these small groups.
But it could also be the ages, I don't know about
Could be the ages, I have no idea.
No.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
But the main thing is that that's the #1 question and the #1 fear around all that.
#1.
And we were worried too before we started all these things. It felt like it was like something we were going to really have to work hard to figure out. But it kind of just happened very easily.
It really did, and all the literature that we read about homeschooling said that there's like, just don't worry about the social aspect, that it really just comes together and ends up not being an issue.
I mean, you have to be more intentional about it.
Yeah, it's true. You got to put the effort, you got to be like, hey, do you want to get together this weekend? And it's kind of hard to put yourself out there. You kind of have to like date a lot of like other little families. Let's turn around, there's some skiers. Skiers.
Okay, you take over with the...
Okay. Oh, hi. Yeah, you have to be intentional and, yeah, put yourself out there. But it's, you know, all the parents are in the same kind of boat, so it's okay. And what else? I mean, we're able to do this because we both work from home, so that's obviously, you know, at least one parent has to have a very flexible schedule in order to work this out, and
or two people who can split their schedule, like the other family we met. Like they both kind of work full time, I think.
Who?
The
baker?
Yeah. The
baker and his wife. Okay. So yeah, splitting your time, that kind of thing. Or often it's just like you know, like a stay-at-home mom or dad who just take over the homeschooling aspect of it. Especially if you have more than like one kid. That's probably the way that's gonna go, because it would be really hard to juggle everyone's schedule, but we only have the one kid, which is pretty rare for homeschooling as well. So we don't have like a built-in class.
What else?
Yeah, and also the other thing about the socialization is that in all the like in everything that you read about homeschooling, they actually say that homeschooling kids are not as antisocial as, you know, the stereotype, that they're actually very social and that they can interact with people of all ages. And it's true with our son, like he is great with babies, he's great with elderly people, kids his age, or kids like 3 years older or 2 years younger, whatever. Like he understands how to interact with children of different ages, people different ages, which if you think of it is pretty rare. Like I remember growing up, I couldn't talk to people who were like 2 years older than me or like 2 years younger than me. Like I felt really awkward that I married someone 2 years younger than me. But yeah, so I feel like it's true, and you don't get that Lord of the Flies, like, I don't know, all like a pack of kids sort of like dynamic, you know? Pack of wild children. But socialization is the big
worry.
The big worry, and academically, homeschoolers do just as well as traditionally schooled children. You know, once he gets older, he'll always have the option to go to school if he wants to. If he's 14 and he really wants to go to school, or like a particular school, like he's interested in engineering or whatever, like we'll help him do that, you know? We're not gonna force him.
Yeah, like one person in my improv class who was homeschooled, about my age, he was homeschooled until I think 14 and he decided to go to school because he was much more into theater and, you know, things that like he wanted to be in touch with a lot of people, and it just felt like a good fit for him, so he decided to do that. But his brother decided not to. He continued homeschooling till university. And it's, yeah, that's, I guess, an option that we have depending on his interests.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know, there's a lot less to worry about, I think, than people imagine. I mean, if you think of it, and I don't mean this as a criticism to school or like whatever people's choices are, but school and the way that school is structured is really a babysitting system, because we work 9 to 5, or like we're supposed to, whatever, and school is essentially 9 to 5. But there's no, if that's not the way your life is structured, then there's no real need for it if that's what you choose not to do, right. You know? So if traditional school is what makes sense for your family, then that's great. But if it doesn't feel right, the way that it doesn't feel right for us, then there are other options. It's totally legal. My parents are like, that's illegal. Like, they were so certain. Sorry, a big dump truck is going by. They were so certain that we were doing something like completely like illegal, and like we were gonna have our like child taken away by social services. It's true that social services can be jerks and come after homeschooling families, but that's why there's also organizations like, we're part of the HSLDA, which is a group of lawyers who help out homeschoolers just in case of any like legal stuff. But they also help bring homeschoolers together, and they provide a lot of really good resources. They keep us on top of any laws that are changing around education and homeschooling and stuff like that, because there were some recent rule changes with language teaching and in Quebec. So we really need to get on teaching him French. I'm half French and I still haven't taught my son French. I was like so embarrassed. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of support and resources. Yeah. And
I think for me it's important. It's not as strange a choice as it's made out to be. It's just uncommon because of the way that most people have their work life structured. It's uncommon to have this as an option, like you said. But I think as more and more people become able to freelance, I'm trying to project, able to freelance or work from home or set their own schedules, it is going to become more common. And yeah, apart from it being uncommon, I think that's the only thing that makes it difficult for people who have no idea what it's like to imagine it as being an option. Right? Yeah,
yeah. But because it's what we're used to. Like, we both were traditionally schooled.
Yeah. Although I knew when I was in school that I wish I had been homeschooled, and I always imagined, you know, doing that with my kid.
Yeah. And just to be clear, like, Adriano like went all the way through school, like to his PhD.
Out of school.
Like, he's done a lot of the schooling. So, you know, it's not like neither one of us is like not like part of that world of academia, you know. But there's just so many ways of going about getting an education, and
especially now. I mean, it would have been a bit more difficult for me growing up in Kuwait to get the resources available.
Yeah.
But now
with the internet,
it's just the amount of content that's free and extremely good quality is unbelievable. Like,
did you guys know you can audit classes from MIT, Harvard?
All kinds of Ivy League. Like, you can see the entire class video lectures and, like, you know, their homework assignments, all that.
Everything.
It's all free.
All free besides the expensive piece of paper you get at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, just there's so many resources now. So again, if homeschooling doesn't fit into, like, you know, your lifestyle, then that's fine. But if it's an option that you've toyed with, that, you know, maybe you have a young child or your kid's not fitting in with school and something maybe you can do, just know that it's possible to do. And in the US, there's huge homeschooling groups. Like, I really I don't wish that I lived in the US, but I wish that Canada had the resources and groups that that the US has when it comes to homeschooling. It's really, really, really impressive. And if you choose to do curriculums, there's tons of resources when it comes to that too. Like I said, we're not following a curriculum, we're following like I guess the John Holt invented unschooling. He's sort of the father of homeschooling. I don't really know, but we're kind of doing that model, at least for now. I don't think a kid really, personally, I don't think a child really needs like an academic curriculum until they're a little bit older. Like I don't think a 5-year-old needs homework, stuff like that. So, but that's just me. So yeah, I don't know. We're not experts. We're just
but I think
a couple parents trying to figure it out.
Because it's like we're not experts, and we don't. It's honestly not been that difficult, really.
No.
I mean,
not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I know it is early.
It's very early.
We do have challenges. That's true. Like we have certain things that we know that we need to work on with him.
Yeah.
Particularly growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate considering how much we try to work on growth mindset, like intentionally, but that may be the reason.
Could be.
He's like a little bit rebel, you know?
Just the idea that is, you know, believing that your intelligence is a fixed quantity means that you're not going to want to try things that you might fail at, because then you're showing that you're not as smart as you thought.
Yeah.
Versus being in a growth mindset where you know that intelligence is something you can develop, and the only way to do it is by challenging yourself and making mistakes.
Yeah. Like for example, like our son, like he believes, like he thinks I'm a smart kid, or he doesn't know how to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it's either black or white. Either he does know or he doesn't know, and there's no way to, like, you know, improve something he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, not to that extreme, but like that.
On a bad day.
Yeah, that's definitely there.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's reasonable, but still something we want to work on. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of our approach or our thoughts on homeschooling for now. Yeah. And every year is going to bring new challenges, but that's just life, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we can, and I'd always thought it's better for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me and for you.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. We're going to go enjoy the snow. Yes. Bye.